Assalamu alaikum dear students. Welcome back to the chapter Mechanical Properties of Fluid. In the last lecture we have seen Pascal's law. Do you remember the last lecture? We have seen the pressure exerted by a liquid and Pascal's law we have studied. Let's do the quick revision of Pascal's law because today we have to study the two important applications of Pascal's law. So let us see. It states that the pressure applied at any point of an enclosed fluid at rest is transmitted equally and undiminished to every point of the fluid and also on the wall of the container, provided that the effect of gravity is neglected. Means if you apply pressure to any enclosed container which is having liquid in it or which is having fluid in it, when you apply the pressure to any point, that pressure will transmit it throughout the liquid equally and undiminished. Means at each and every point you will have the same pressure to the pressure that you have applied. We have seen the mathematical proof of this also. Here we had taken one container which is consisting of fluid. Example, we had considered this fluid and it is having four opening, which opening was of different areas. Opening A, B, C and D we had taken. A is having the area small a, B is twice to that of A, C is thrice to that of A and D is half to that of A. And when we apply the pressure F to the opening A, obviously we all know that this fluid is incompressible, means you cannot compress it. Whenever you apply the pressure to any point on the fluid, it will be transmitted. It is not going to compress. So this transmitted pressure will let all the piston which is there at the opening B, C and D, it will let all the piston to move in outward direction. The pressure applied at A is, the force applied at A is F, and this force will move these three pistons in an outward direction. What we will have to do, if you want to restore the position of these three pistons B, C and D, then we will have to apply the force in order to keep them into their own position. So how much force is applied on B? If B is twice to that of S, obviously the force applied on B is 2F, on C is 3F and on D is F by 2. Then we had calculated the pressure at these 3 points A, B, C and D. How we had calculated the pressure? By the formula force per unit area. We all know that basic formula of a pressure is force per unit area. So force at A divided by area of A, it is F upon A. Similarly, pressure at B is force at B divided by area of B, which is 2F upon 2A, is also F upon A. Similarly, you are going to get the pressure at C and pressure at D by applying these formula. You will get the same pressure. Means the pressure is same throughout the fluid. Once you have applied the pressure at any point, it will be transmitted equally and undiminished. At each and every point, the value of pressure will remain same. Now let's have its two important application that we will have to study is, very first one is hydraulic lift. What is this hydraulic lift? You might have seen this lift, hydraulic lift in garage. This lift is used to lift a heavy vehicle in order to repair it. So how it is lifted. This hydraulic lift is used to lift a heavy object with a small amount of force. So let's see how it is exactly working on the basis of Pascal law. So let's see how it is going to work. For that, we have taken the basic construction of this hydraulic lift. It is consisting of two containers which are interconnected with each other, and these two containers they are fitted with the pistons. They are having the area S1 and S2. The surface area of these two containers are different. S1 as shown in the figure, S2 is greater than S1. So what we will have to do, once if you apply a force on the container 1, this is the container 1, this is the container 2. This is very small as compared to the second one. Remember that the second container is having a larger area as compared to the first container. So let us apply the small force on the container 1. These two containers are filled with the fluids. So let's apply the forces. Let's apply the force on the container 1. Let's say it is F1, and remember that this is very small amount of force acting on this container. So we have applied small amount of force on it, that is F1. So because of this force and this area, pressure will be created. So let P1 is the pressure of the container 1. So what is going to happen? Just recall the statement of Pascal's law. It is the enclosed fluid and we have applied the force on it. So what is going to happen over here? The force, once the force is applied, pressure is created. As we all know that you cannot compress the liquid in the container 1 because liquid is incompressible. So this pressure will be transmitted throughout this liquid as per the Pascal law. And what is the effect of this pressure? According to the statement of the Pascal's law, this pressure will be equally transmitted to each and every point of the fluid. So here the pressure P1 is created and this P1 is transmitted to the second container also. Let us say the pressure in the second container is P2. This is we have taken just for the representation as it is there in the container 2. Otherwise these two P1 and P2 are going to remain same. We all know that the pressure which is transmitted over here is equal and undiminished. So with this pressure, once it is transmitted to the container 2, this pressure is going to move the piston of the second container. This piston is having a larger area. So this pressure is going to move this piston in an outward direction. So with the help of this small amount of pressure, you can lift a heavy object with a small amount of force, and similarly you can move it in a downward direction with the same principle as that of the Pascal law. So let us see how it means. What obviously to move a piston of the second container we need larger amount of force. So let's see why the force F2 is larger as compared to F1. Obviously the force F2 will be larger. So let us see mathematically how it is going to be greater or larger as compared to the F1. So in this way heavy objects are lifted by applying the small amount of force. So first and foremost thing, let us calculate the pressure in the container 1. Let us denote it as P1. P1 is the pressure of the container 1. By the formula, pressure is F upon A. So it will be F1 upon A1. F1 upon A1, where A1 is the surface area of the piston of the container 1. Similarly, let us calculate second pressure P2, the pressure which is transmitted in the second container, let it be denoted as P2. We all know that P2 is F2 upon A2. Remember that this A2 is very greater or larger than A1. So pressure transmitted in the second container is represented by this equation F2 upon A2. This is your equation 1. This is your equation 2. But from the Pascal's law, we all know that P1 is exactly equal to P2. The force or the pressure applied to any part of an enclosed liquid, it will be transmitted equally and undiminished to every point or as well as to the wall of the container, provided that the effect of gravity is to be neglected. So these two pressure will be exactly equal as per the Pascal law. P1 is equal to P2. Now equating these two equations, see what we are going to get over here. P1 is F1 upon A1 is equal to P2 is F2 upon A2. Then from this equation we can write down the value of F2. F2 will become, keep this F2 on the right hand side only and taking this A2 to that side, we are going to get F2 is equal to F1 upon A1 into A2, or you can write it as F1 into A2 upon A1. We all know that this A2 is greater than A1, so the ratio A2 upon A1 will also be greater than 1. So once you multiply this smaller force with the quantity which is greater than 1, then this will be greater than F1. So similarly we can say that this F2 will be very greater than F1. So automatically large amount of force will be generated to lift the object. This is the principle of hydraulic lift, which is exactly working on the basis of Pascal's law. Now let's see the second application. Second application is hydraulic brake. We all know this hydraulic brake is used to stop or slow down the moving object. Why we are using brake? To slow down the motion of a moving vehicle. So here we have taken four-wheeler, and this hydraulic brake is connected in a four-wheeler. So hydraulic brake is consisting of, let's see the different part of this brake, and it is also working on the principle of Pascal's law. Let's see, it is consisting of 5 containers which are known as cylinder 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. These 4 containers 1, 2, 3 and 4, these 4 containers are connected to the, directly it is connected to the wheels of the four-wheeler, and this is the middle container, you can say middle cylinder. This cylinder stays in the middle, and this cylinder is called as master cylinder, while the remaining 4 cylinders which are connected to the wheels of the vehicle, that cylinders are called as slave cylinders, and these cylinders are filled with the brake fluid. See, you can see it is filled with the fluid. So how these 4 cylinders are directly connected with this master cylinder, which is also filled with the hydraulic fluid. So, and one more thing which I cannot show in the diagram is area of the cylinder, master cylinder is smaller, while area of these 4 cylinders will be larger. So the 2 types of cylinder, there are only 2 types of cylinder, though there are 5 in numbers, but they are of two types. These cylinders, slave cylinders, are having greater area as compared to the master cylinder, and each is connected with the piston. Now let us study the master cylinder over here. Master cylinder is connected with the brake pedal, on which we have to apply the small amount of force. So once this small amount of force is applied on the master cylinder, see what is going to happen. This small amount of force so one pressure will be generated here, and this pressure will be transmitted equally to all the slave cylinders. Once it is pushed, because once the brake pedal is pushed inward, once it is pressed, so this piston is going to move in inward direction. So once it is moved inward, the pressure created here, it will be transmitted equally, because all the cylinders are connected to the master cylinders. So this pressure will be transmitted to all the slave cylinders, and what will happen? The pistons which are there at the mouth of the slave cylinder, they are going to move in an outward direction. As I told you that the liquid is incompressible, so it is going to move in an outward direction. You cannot compress a liquid. These pistons are going to move in a forward direction. So as these pistons are moved in a forward direction, which are connected with the friction pad, and that friction pad is then directly connected to the wheels of the vehicle. They are connected to the disc, metallic disc you will have seen in the wheels of the vehicle. So that friction pad is then going to stop, and then going to stop the motion of the steel disc which are connected with the vehicle. So in this way, the vehicle is gradually slows down its motion, and finally it will stop. So this is the working of hydraulic brake, which is exactly working on the basis of Pascal's law. Remember that here the area of the slave cylinder will be taken as A2, and the area of the master cylinder is taken as A1. This A1 is very small and this A2 is very large. So we also know by the small application of the force, let's see how the larger force, obviously to stop the wheels of a vehicle we need a larger force. So again what we will do, let us calculate the force which is created at the slave cylinders, which are moving in an outward direction and which are connected to the friction pad, and that friction pad is then connected with the steel disc of the vehicle. So friction pads are going to stop the motion of that rotating steel disc, and as the motion of the disc is stopped gradually, and finally the motion of the vehicle is stopped gradually. So larger amount of force will be created. Let us see how the larger amount of force is created. We all know that pressure created at the master cylinder is P1, which is equal to F1 upon A1. Similarly, pressure created at the slave cylinder will be P2. It is nothing but F2 upon A2. By equating these two pressure as per the Pascal's law, we all know that the same amount of pressure will be transmitted. Though they are having different area and the different forces, the pressure transmission will be equal and undiminished. So P1 is exactly equal to P2. Once you equate these two pressure, P1 is F1 upon A1 is equal to F2 upon A2. Finally, we will get F2 is equal to A2 upon A1 into F1. Just it is exactly same as that of the hydraulic lift. So A2 is greater than A1, as I told you that all the slave cylinders or slave containers are having greater area as compared to the master cylinder. So A2 is greater than A1. The ratio A2 upon A1 will be greater than 1, and once you multiply any number, any quantity with the number greater than 1, that will be having a number greater than in its own self. So answer will be greater than F1. So force which are created on the slave cylinder will be F2, and that F2 will be very greater than F1. So this large amount of force which is created because of the master cylinder, which is having a small area, but it is used to create a larger amount of force at the slave cylinder, which will then finally stop or gradually decrease the motion of the wheels of a vehicle. So in this way the hydraulic brakes are working on the principle of Pascal's law. Hope you will have understood the topic. Thank you.